Hi, my name is Mark Mitford with HR Catalyst. Today is Friday, so it's time for Mark's Friday 3 and 3, where I share three great HR tips with you in 3 minutes. So with that, let's go and get started. Today, I wanted to focus on one of my clients. I'll actually not name them, of course, but they have a great HR initiative called Move the Middle. And so here's what Move the Middle describes: that you have about within your organization and your profile of your performance curve in your organization, you have about 15 to 20% of your employees within your company that are your A players, your rock stars. So 15 to 20% there. You have about 5 to 10% who are your lower performers, your B players, possibly C, sometimes F players. And so when you do the math there, you're going to end up with somewhere around 60 to 80% of your employees who are typically B, C, and sometimes D players. So that's your middle of performers within the organization. Every organization has that somewhat of that bell curve within the organization. What are you doing? So item number one is, first of all, what are you doing to identify the talent in this fashion? And do you have an intentional plan to identify and actually categorize your talent within your organization? So that's item number one. The next thing you need to do is focus on what is your strategy for your solid performers to actually move them up or possibly coach them out of the organization. Ideally, you want to be able to take those C players and move them to A or B players, because if they can become really good performers, that's going to increase their productivity and performance greatly. So, what are you doing with that group? And once you've identified them, what is your strategy to take those B, C, and D players to actually move them from the middle, move them up? And then the last thing we wanted to focus on is looking at your D players or your F players. What are you doing to possibly move or coach them up or coach them out of the organization? Because you have two choices, but a lot of employers do not focus on their lower performers. They somewhat tolerate them, which is totally unacceptable. If they're making a good salary, why do you tolerate low performance? Makes no sense to me. So, what are you doing with the folks who are at the bottom end of that performance curve, or those lower performers you already identified through this process, to possibly coach them up or coach them out? Because if you coach them out, there's a good chance you can actually upgrade the talent and bring in somebody who's possibly going to be a B player or possibly an A player. So that's what we wanted to focus on today. So we're focusing on that move the middle. What are you doing with that 60 to 80% of your employees who fall in that middle category, and having an intentional plan to move them up ideally, or possibly move them out so you can upgrade your talent. And upgraded talent means that you can actually be more productive, higher level of performance within your employees, higher level of engagement, and at the end of the day, which really matters, is higher profitability within the organization. With that, I'm out of time, so have a great weekend and we'll talk again soon. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye bye.